How's it going? Welcome back if you've seen my videos before. If not, I just give intuitive readings based on the meditation and stuff that I've done. So this one, I'm going to be talking about how right now, if you're seeing this video, and hopefully this resonates, you are right where you are supposed to be. You are right where you are supposed to be right now. There's something where we just had the solstice yesterday, and I don't know if you guys felt it, but there was this kind of extra pull towards spiritual practice, specifically for me, for feminine worship. But the spiritual practice in general, I think, just gets amplified on solstice. So hopefully you took advantage of that. If not, you will be feeling the shift soon, because what I just felt is, for the people that see these videos, people in the collective, we are kind of going through this sort of brightening period. There was a bit of a dark period. Things were hard for a while. We didn't know where it was going to go, if it was going to work out or whatever. But now it is clear that not only are we now right where we are supposed to be, and maybe you're not feeling it yet, but you will soon. But as always, not every reading fits. So if it doesn't resonate, don't try to force it. But not only are we right where we are supposed to be now, it's clear that the things that we have gone through up until this point, maybe in this past season or past year, or maybe past 5 years, everything is kind of culminating into this brighter, clearer picture. And you can see now how all of these, maybe like these weird run-ins with certain people, or random events that happened, problems that you ran into, whatever, they all kind of brought you to this moment. And now, hopefully you are seeing, and if you aren't, you maybe will soon, or you will soon. Why not just say it? You will be seeing that it's starting to make sense why all of that stuff happened, and it is going to keep making sense. You know, I feel like a lot of times we can get stuck in what's just directly right in front of us. You know, it's like we can get stuck with what's right in front of us and not see the bigger picture. But now you're starting to see the bigger picture. I think a lot of you are kind of more sensitive people with a lot of depth. Maybe you feel like you can't relate to a lot of people. And I feel like you've been almost in this like hermit mode or hermit phase for a while. And you've been trying to discover what it is that you think is true about, maybe it's about what you want to do in your career, about a relationship, just about your soul or about life, having a clear worldview, these kinds of things. I feel like you're someone who takes a lot of time and puts in a lot of time into figuring out that kind of thing and figuring yourself out and wanting to make sure that, you know, there's a lot of bravery in the path of going towards, you know, looking inward, because it requires a sort of sacrifice of the external for a period of time. Some people, they're just kind of thrust onto this path, and whether they liked it or not, they wouldn't be able to do anything in the external. And that was kind of like what happened to me. But sometimes, you know, for whatever it is, you are forsaking something when you go inward. When you go into that hermit phase, and you try to go where most people don't want to go, right? You're looking at the things that you don't want to look at, and that people don't want to look at, and you're hoping that it's going to lead you in a direction of a life that's more fulfilling. And that's the sense that I'm getting, is that you're seeing the payoff soon, or you're seeing it now, that like there is this payoff coming. And you were always like, you know, they talk about detachment or whatever, but we're always trying to get something out of the actions that we're doing, right? The effort we're putting in. Sorry if you can hear that siren. We are always trying to get something out of the effort we put in. And so to want something out of the spiritual path or whatever is not bad, right? It's not bad. There can be times where if it goes to your head or you get ego, it slows you down or whatever. But I think generally speaking, anything that it's happening, it's just part of your own unique path. And for you right now, you're like starting to settle in. I feel like that's the feeling I'm getting. It's like you can settle in now. Before, you know, maybe it felt very all over the place, or I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to relax. It's like everything was being ripped out of your life, or things were changing. You couldn't like hold on to a job or a relationship, and it was just like you were thrown into uncertainty. That's what I'm getting. There was a big period of uncertainty and struggle, and I'm getting torment. I mean, that's a pretty strong word, but like a big like, a long period as well is what I'm getting. A long period of torment, struggle, whatever. And you always in the back of your head were like, well, I hope this turns into something good, right? Like there's so many bad things happening that I just can't see it staying this bad forever. It doesn't even really make sense. Like, I feel like for you, like you almost saw all of this anguish and these problems and this tumultuous time as like this evidence of some kind of spiritual path. Like at first it just felt awful because you didn't know, and hopefully this is resonating, but hopefully it felt awful. I mean, no, not hopefully it felt. At first it felt awful, right? Because you're like, all of these things are being ripped out of my life. And then you learned about maybe spiritual stuff, or you already knew about it, and you were like, like this can't just be for no reason. Like I'm feeling all of these things. I'm being forced to face stuff that happened in my childhood, and these old feelings are coming up. Old problems that I used to have that I never dealt with are coming up, but just in like these different forms and manifestations. And now you're seeing that, there was actually a reason, like there is a reason. You're entering this new phase where you can, it's like you were in this training ground. You were doing the wax on, wax off. I don't know if you've seen Karate Kid, but it's like this kind of somewhat, this kid has a karate teacher, and the teacher is teaching him wax on, wax off, to like wax something. And it seemingly at the beginning, it looks like it's just this pointless activity, right? It's just like, why are you telling me to do wax on, wax off like 100 times a day or whatever it was? And then, he's in the training mode, whatever. And then the battle happens. And then those same moves, the same movements that he was doing with the wax on, wax off, he used them in like a fight to protect himself. I forget how it goes. But essentially that's what's happening with you right now. If this resonates, it's like you were going. It's like in the beginning, it's so unclear how this is going anywhere, and that if there is really any kind of like, is this going to be a happy ending? You know what I mean? And this doesn't mean it's the end. It doesn't mean I don't think you ever really get to the end, and there's always more cycles, and you can't get rid of the mystery of life or the uncertainty. It's just, do you want to just view it as uncertainty or as adventure and mystery, right? And so I'm really happy for you, because this is great. You're entering this new period, this new phase. If you can't feel it yet, it's coming, trust. And just like soak it in and keep doing what you're doing, because you're on the right path. You're doing the right things, and everything that you need is coming to you. You are exactly where you need to be. Thanks.